You are now listening to the Young Black and Figuring It Out podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at YoungBlackFIO or on Facebook at Young Black and Figuring It Out. For all questions or inquiries, send your emails to ybfpodcast20@gmail.com. But if you really want to make a statement while showing your support, go to www.youngblackfio.com to purchase some merchandise. We truly appreciate your love and support. On behalf of the YBF team, thank you.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Herb.
And it's your girl Mo.
And welcome to our soon-to-be
We're over now.
podcast, Young Black and Figuring It Out.
Ooh.
Listen, what up, though? Man, whatever we telling y'all, listen, we having so much joy as we record a podcast, but crying tears of laughter. We can't tell you what happened, but gonna be off air, bloopers and deleted scenes. So here, cutting up. Oh man. I'm happy to do this episode.
Yeah, this is good.
Therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
Cathartic is the word you use sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
We needed that laugh.
Yeah, man. Listen, since we last got together, have you figured out anything? You want me to go first?
You could go first. I figured it out, but I laughed through it. I forgot.
Yeah. Okay. This is what I actually figured out, though. I think under promising and over performing is the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I have watched people recently make commitments and promises and, plans to change and all that, only for those things to not work out, and it hurts your credibility. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you got to, say what you're going to do, but be measured in that, right? Mm-hmm. And then do more than you said,
Yeah.
I think people really respect that,
Yeah.
And I think it also makes, people get more trust in you when you do it that way, because if people have expectations and you don't fulfill those hurt a lot more than you surprising somebody with something you've completed.
Right.
So I think that's the way to go for real. Whether it be that's partner, work, whatever to yourself, all those things I think are important in terms of overdoing versus over promising.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Because sometimes, everyone's personality is a little different. Some people are more type A, and they might be a little more micromanagey or always watching for it, or, it could build anxiety. It could do all kinds of things. It could just get in the way. So that's a good one. That makes a lot of sense.
What about you?
I would say, I want to say reading is fundamental, but truly learning and never stopping yourself from learning and being willing to learn is so important.
Yeah.
It is probably something my dad would always say when we were younger. He used to say things just like, watch, pay attention, learn and understand for yourself. Don't just take what someone tells you.
Yeah.
And, as a kid, I'm like, what does this mean, Dad? But now as an adult, I'm like, oh my gosh.
That makes so much sense.
Taking the time to learn information yourself, not just base it off of so-and-so told me, and they're always right. You don't know.
Yeah,
absolutely. Google is free.
Yeah.
Use it.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I'm big on going to the library, so
man, that's what's up.
go learn something. It's okay.
Expand your knowledge, yo.
We can never know everything.
No, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Be curious. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
Man, speaking of somebody who expanded their knowledge and was always curious, and also, I think, under-promise and over-perform. Today we have an amazing episode for you all titled Remembering 44. Now, what does that mean? What number was Jackie Robinson?
42.
Dang, okay, how about that? Hey, that would have been crazy. somebody would have been made that connection. I would have been mad late, but okay.
It was close.
Chadwick movie. Dang, that's right. That's right. Okay. But in the midst of this recent last month's presidential inauguration, we are talking about a time where, at least to us, it felt like things were, and maybe not from a societal standpoint, there's a lot going on, but from like a leadership standpoint, a lot more normal. You felt more at peace. I felt more sure that somebody was taking into account everybody's perspectives, all those good things. So today we are remembering Barack Obama as the president, man, to give him his flowers now.
Yeah.
As he needs them, you know?
Man.
So for folks who don't know, Barack Obama, he actually like came up the ranks, and I don't have it here, but I know he was a senator. And then actually, he was a community organizer, and then I think he ran for like some kind of like district office. I can't remember, but then like lost, and then became a senator, and then like I can't remember the exact time frame, but soon after went to become the 44th president of the United States, and did so in such a unique way because he like won Iowa. He got so many votes in rural, traditionally white areas that nobody expected him to get when he won. And it's because he really understood, like, he was the voice of the people. Like, he understood people who like working class and blue collar, and he also could speak to folks and other that were like college educated, and like he just had a really good universal appeal.
Yes.
Relatability.
Relatability.
Yeah. And then being a black man, I think, impacted our community in such a way. I just remember that time. Can you remember that time he got elected?
Yes, it was 2007. Oh gosh, 2008 is when he started his presidency, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't 2007. It was 2008, and I'm
No,
like,
it was 2007 because
when the voting happened.
And then he actually got sworn in 2008.
Because there was something. So I graduated in 2007 from high school, and I just remember that being my favorite year for so long. But I was like, was that the year? And it was my first time I could vote. So it was like so monumental to me that I could participate for once, and it was a candidate that I actually felt like I could see myself in, And so it was, so at the time when I went to school out in the countryside of Vermont, and the population in the school was predominantly white, no one was really talking about anything having to do with the politics at the time or whatever. And I remember me and my small group of friends went to get T-shirts the night of the results. We got everything that said Obama. We were just so happy. I was so thankful. I sent in my ballad because I was away from home,
100%.
and I was just I could not wait. And when it was announced that he won, I mean, the tears, the joy. We took pictures. We were living our absolute best. And I remember the inauguration was playing in the cafe, and it was so silent. Yeah. It was uncomfortably silent. People were mad. There was no real joy, but the joy within me, it was, what a beautiful time. I was I couldn't believe it. It was history. I'm watching history unfold.
You were in high school or college?
I was in college at the time. Yeah.
Oh, the college you went to, yeah. Because people probably like, when did that happen? Everybody loved this. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, if it was high school,
we'd
have been dancing.
But Roberts did.
Yeah.
Be real, it's a rap. You did it last time.
No, it was bad.
But that it's my turn. But yeah, it was a rap. When I remember I was at home and I was in high school, and I was I remember the song that was playing was "My President Is Black" by Jeezy.
Yes.
My president is black.
My Lambo's blue.
Yeah. Man, I was just so empowered. And there's people get to see themselves and without knowing that's what was going on, that's what was going on. It's wow, bro, it's the president. I can do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Seriously.
And he was young.
He was 46, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I'm that could be my dad.
It was so. Man, that was so. It was just such a big deal. He wasn't a flawless president, but it was just he carried himself with such respect and dignity and integrity and just all of those things. He had no scandals throughout his whole presidency, man.
Grace, just
man.
And I remember when there was a lot of mockery and everything going on, all these things about, was he born here, or is he discrediting his race or his blackness, which was appalling. But I also remember how he just rose above it. It's none of that. He gave off that energy of, say whatever you want. I ain't got nothing to do with me. But what I'm focused on is, and I'm I was just always so hyped.
Yeah, it was a speech he gave about that, because it was a birtherism, what they called it. And it was actually pushed by, guess who? Donald Trump. was one of the main people pushing and saying that he was born in Kenya and not.
Yeah,
and,
so
and,
surprising.
And so, like, he actually was ignoring it for a long time, and then he came forward to address it one time, and then his speech was so powerful. He was just like, he was in the middle of the Great Recession. He was like, hey, we just the other night wrote out a comprehensive bill. It was, I forget what the bill was, and he was like, I couldn't get half of the reporters to pick that story up. But today I'm here to talk about my place of birth, and it's like breaking news on all the main channels. Our priorities are not straight. And he said, we do not have time for this. We have serious things. I do not have time for this. I'm like, oh, that's my man. Like, just kept the vision.
A leader.
Yeah, oh my God. Like, I miss bro.
It's so rare.
Yeah, and some people are like smoking mirrors. They lead and they look good, but
Yeah.
bro actually got stuff done. So let's talk about some of those things that he brought forward. So I think one of the most comprehensive, consequential legislative things that he's pushed through was the Affordable Care Act.
Yes.
Healthcare reform was huge. People were worried about the ACA, but what that did for people with healthcare to make it to where they couldn't deny you for pre-existing conditions. You could stay on your parents' healthcare until you was 26.
Ooh,
oh my
saved lives.
goodness.
It literally saved lives.
Man, brought down the cost of prescription drugs. All of that was key. Like, and he pushed that through against major opposition. Not even opposition because people thought it was wrong, but opposition because of who he was.
Exactly.
And he like wheeled and dealed and
Right.
talked to people and made it work.
Right.
And that has changed people's lives so much so that even now, the people who opposed it before, Republicans, can't like repeal it back. And here's the funny thing about the ACA. Obama based that model off of Mitt Romney, who was a Republican who was at the time, I think the governor, I can't remember. I was going to say Vermont because we've been saying Vermont, but it might have actually been Vermont. I'm going to look that up. But based on his models, it was hard for Republicans to say, oh, we don't like it because it was all based on what Mitt Romney did.
And you know they nicknamed it Obamacare almost like as a negative connotation, but it's the same thing, Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, oh, Massachusetts. Okay.
Oh yeah, very very close.
It is, same family. But yeah, so ACA, man, changed people's lives. And then, we was in a time, people forget, Obama did such a good job, and he gave him the keys to the ship while the ship was sinking. He got the keys after a subprime mortgage meltdown where the housing crash. It led to the greatest, it was actually, look at it, some people argue it's like it was a depression, but definitely a great recession where it's like, if you remember, people couldn't get jobs. Unemployment was high. People losing their houses. It was chaos. Auto industry shutting down. Like, he helped lead through that by another major legislation called the Economic Recovery Act that he got with both sides, the Democrats and Republicans, all were on board with this. It put actually, billions of dollars into the economy to help stimulate it. Right, huge.
So much.
Yeah,
the man did so much.
Yeah. The Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, which provided temporary protection for undocumented immigrants who were brought to U.S. as children. Imagine being deported somewhere you've never been as a child.
Right.
Come on.
It was and it was a beautiful way of protecting kids because they had nothing to do with having come here to begin with. Okay.
So some of the foreign things he did, let's talk about that. The Paris Climate Agreement, which we just heard recently that Donald Trump got us out of through executive action, which is trying to prevent climate change because we see what's going on with global climate change.
Yes. If you see snow in warm and sunny areas, that is part of climate change.
Yep. Iran nuclear deal started to curb Iran's nuclear arsenal, right? It was huge. And actually was huge in Indian wars, so saw the withdrawal of troops. He did actually have more troops to have to be able to address the issue when he got in his first term, to be honest, but then also led to the withdrawal of more troops in Afghanistan.
Right.
And also was a person who, he wasn't soft, though. He got Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, he did.
Got.
Yeah, he did.
So my man wasn't
That was
playing.
one of the first things he did,
It was 2012. He did it right before he got his. It was right before his the next election. He was like, "Hey, 2 terms, please, y'all." Yes, my man.
Good times.
Talk about the social things.
And he did the marriage equality, where anyone can get married now, and that's not a issue anymore for the Supreme Court. He also got rid of don't ask and don't tell in the military.
Yeah.
If anyone remembers, when you were in the LGBTQ plus community, you could not say you were if you were in the military, and that's no longer a thing. You could be yourself. And then he did a lot of gun control advocacy, which was pushed back heavily. But he attempted, because we know school shootings are always occurring.
Yeah, so my man's, he did a lot. You know? You know, he did a lot.
And, a lot of the stuff, I agree, was not publicized in the way that it should have been. A lot of it was criticized so poorly that, or I heard a lot of statements from people. What did he really do? Did he even do anything? He did a lot.
Did a lot. Got a lot done. In a situation, because right now, like you said, like we talked about earlier, Donald Trump has the House and the Senate and the president.
Unfortunately.
Barack did not. His second term, well, his first term, it's this weird setup to where you have to have what's called a supermajority in order to get stuff done. Barack didn't have that his first term because there's this thing called a filibuster where you can get there and just talk forever and bills don't get passed. And so you actually have to have more than a majority, right? And so he couldn't actually get things through. And in his second term, he lost I want to say the Senate, or maybe both. And so he couldn't get anything through.
Yeah.
So he was doing this he was having to work to get these things done. He would have had to set up the same way that Trump got it right now. It would have been done.
Yeah, everything would have been
Oh my goodness. We would have been so up right now.
Everything would have been passed.
Yeah, that's okay. So what was your first memory of Obeezy?
He was going up against Hillary Clinton in the primaries, and I had never heard of him before. And so I was like, who is he? I know my Clintons. I don't know this man. And slowly but surely, he won me over just because he can speak.
Ooh.
He's so eloquent, but also speaks like you're having a conversation.
He sure does.
You can understand him.
Yeah.
That I can recall was my first time knowing him. And then I remember a professor pushing the idea of, well, who will black women vote for between the two in the primary? Will you go for a black man or a woman? And I'm like,
Whoever got the best policies. Yes.
Yeah. So that was major for me at that age.
Yeah, okay. We're going to keep working through these mic troubles, y'all. We got this. But here is...
Lo siento mucho.
Hey, heard that, though. But bilingual. She's reading the Spanish Constitution when it's up there. But, okay. So, my first memory of Obama was also the primaries. And they were like... they were asking him, he was going against Hillary in a debate, and they were asking him, she had brought up that he had Republicans, on his staff, or said that he would have Republicans on his staff, and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah. He was like, I have all people, even if they are opposed. If they got good ideas, it makes sense. I have all people on my staff. He said, I look forward to having you on my staff, Hillary. I was like, oh, bro, smooth. Yeah, that was dope. So that stood out to me. It's like, okay, it was like, he not only is he intelligent, he went to Columbia and he was like a lawyer and went to the best law school. He also was still relatable and personable. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there. It's like, okay, that's my man. Yeah. I was rolling with him. Do you think when Obama came into office as being the first black president that the expectations that were put on him, and this is us talking to us, so black folks talking to black folks, do you think the expectations of what he was going to be able to do or should do were fair to him? No.
I think we had the expectation that he would pretty much solve all our problems and almost over focus on us and us alone. And he was fair, he was really just focused on people, not just his people. And it's something I can respect, but I think that was the overarching. I don't even think it was discussed. I think it was just felt like we were expecting him to come here and lift us up and save us and put us on the top or something like that. Yeah. Because I found a lot of us were more critical of him. Yeah. And I did not like that. But at the time, I wasn't as versed in politics to understand all the things. So I couldn't defend. I'm so sorry, Obama. I couldn't defend you like I wanted to.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I agree. I think that. Yeah, I think we had this expectation that he was going to be like the Messiah. And it's like, there's no way that one person, it's like so much. Listen, there are hundreds of years to get us where we were. There was no way in 4 or 8 years he was going to make all those changes while being the president for everybody and being a global leader during a financial meltdown. And I do think, though, he could have been, especially his second term, he could have been less tempered. He could have been a little more standing on business.
Like more of a risk taker?
Yeah. And, he very measured, and duteous is his middle name almost. Even right now, people type because you go back to right before the inauguration, at Jimmy Carter's funeral, he was like laughing and joking with Trump. And he went, and Michelle Obama ain't go. She stood on business. People want him to do a little bit more of that, which I would say I agree. I think his last term, especially, he could have done a little more for us, like took the risk. But you know that pressure where it's like, dang, people already looking at me to do X, Y, and Z.
Be a certain way, act a certain way, behave. And I think there came a point, you know, because, you know, I love me some Michelle, especially after she wrote her book where she was done. She wasn't, she's like, I'm not playing no more. I'm not doing any of this. Because I don't have to. And there's no reason for it. And I mean, he will go down as the president, like in history forever. So I understand if he is a little more cautious with what it appears like, you know, but I followed him on social media for forever, and he's always speaking up when things are happening. You know, always calling to action whoever's the leader to do things or to stand on things or to do more. And so I'm like, I can't not respect him. You know, it's just I think they have taken different routes on how they show it,
how they go about it. Yeah, for sure. And I think he even I think he can be attributed to popularizing the presidency. Like he'd come up with like, here's my favorite book list, here's my favorite songs of the summer, and like it's like all these things, and they'd be like, oh, we made it. You would see like even his walk-off song was like Encore by Jay-Z one time, and then it was Lose Yourself by Eminem, and then you know, so he just made it like, okay, it's cool to be the president. You know, before it was like, stuffy. I mean, no offense, like who wants to be George W. Bush? Like
stuffy.
Yeah, it's like you know, or even Bill Clinton, even though he had his little 1-2, but it's like.
Scandal.
Yeah, nobody wanted to be the president. But when you saw Obama, it's like, dang, he dapping up NBA players and like, you know. You seen the video where he like handshake everybody and then he gets to he gets to LeBron. It's like,
oh my God.
What up, dog?
It's so funny.
Mad funny.
Yeah, that's very true. I felt like he was also, I mean, this could be just my perception because I didn't follow the other presidents like that. But even, I remember Hamilton before it got on stage, performed first in the White House. And he introduced them and everything. And the concept was so ridiculous. And he it just appeared like he believed in arts and all these other things that kind of doesn't get looked at as much. Yeah. You know, I was like, yes, he's accessible. Yeah. I tell you, I'm going to bump into him. I know it.
It's dope. For real. Well, actually, I'm going to put this out there. So maybe we can play this clip. I today am asking Barack Obama, you dropped your first volume of the book, A Promised Land. It's time. Like, can we get the second part now? Like, we waiting, bro. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to been drop part 2. It's like, what's up? We out here. Like, you leaving us on a cliff. And we need something to believe in right now. So drop that book, bro. Before they put it on the banned book list. Okay.
If he ain't never speak, I mean, you speak. You hear me? Because if that ain't the truth.
But how do you think, so we like project out, how do you think Obama's presidency will be remembered 50 years from now?
You know, that calls into question a lot of comparison. So because we're in such turmoil right now.
Turbulent times.
It's a hot mess. Who knows where we're going? I think it can be looked back at fondly and clearly on what true leadership of a country looks like. You know, the level of, I'm not picking favorites. I am taking care of you and actually caring about the people in this country. I don't think we've seen that in a while. You know, like everyone's more focused on themselves, how they appear, if they're loved. And it never felt like he cared if you liked him or not, but he was going to be fair to what you needed. Oh, yeah. You know? Yep. I think that's a rare quality to find in a person. Yep. And that's what you need in a leader, but I don't think that's the leadership that's being modeled, you know, often. So I think, I don't think it'll take 50 years, but I think by then, you know, people are going to be like, dang, can we get one of those back?
Hey, his approval ratings was like one of the best ever, like the best for a former president. It was like a year after he got out of office. We know who came into office after that. And it was like, oh my goodness, bring bro back. So yeah, I think in 50 years, I think he's going to go down as one of the top presidents. Like, you know, it's going to be hard to top like the, you know, George Washington, because everybody loved the first. And
Lincoln,
and then FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Teddy Roosevelt, and all that. But I think I think he gonna go down top. With me, he number one, but he gonna go down top 3, top 5 because of what he did during the time. Like he literally got the keys to the boat and it was sinking. Like he saved America. He saved the world. I'm just gonna put that. I'll be real with you because everywhere was crashing. Like he saved the world, yo. Literally, like bro he had a team, but he was just so measured on point, man. Even stuff he did to this day is still rippling, like, So, yeah, shout out to OBZ. And to be honest, if the best thing he probably ever has done was marry Michelle.
You know,
she
just doesn't get enough love.
Yeah.
She's one of the realest out there. I love her deeply. He did, and it's really beautiful to see. And again, I don't know what the other presidents do because I don't pay them much, mine. But every year when it's their anniversary, when it's her birthday, it's the way that he shows love toward her and vice versa.
Yeah.
They have such a beautiful relationship because they speak so well of each other, so kindly, so respected.
Yeah.
And it's genuine because they also they rib each other when they want to.
Yeah.
It's like beautiful choice.
And I'm gonna claim it today. We are going to have Obama on a Young Black and Figuring Out podcast at some point.
I'd love to say the Obamas.
Yes.
Both.
Michelle don't be pulling up.
Michelle will pull up for us.
She don't be outside like Barack be outside.
That's true.
Admittedly, that would be amazing, but she like, hey, listen.
We'd have a good time, girl. Come on.
Yeah. Listen, I'll take one of them. But if both, that'd be fire. But Michelle be like, nah, I'm staying home. Hey, respect.
Our regards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair.
But I'm claiming it.
Oh, I'm here for it because when he claim it, it happens.
Amen. We putting it out there. But no, honestly, I just want to say such a beautiful presidency. If I would have known what I had, we had it. Oh, I would have backed.
In our defense, we were young.
Yeah.
We didn't know yet. We didn't have the issues prior. We didn't know.
Yeah. Oh, and them suits was tough.
That man can dress. You remember when they came at him for wearing a tan suit or whatever?
Yeah.
My boy was looking good.
Yo, bro
Haters.
can dress. Listen. Shout out to Obama. You know what I'm saying? The only person who probably just better date the black, I'm going to say Ghost.
All right.
But I ain't gonna lie. Ghost was James St. Patrick. Dang. Gang he was number one. After that, it's Obama. Nobody just better than him.
Oh my gosh. Well, since Ghost is a character,
yes.
Shout out to the wardrobe for power.
Y'all must use Obama stylist because yes. Nah, that's dope.
That's funny.
But nah. Yeah, man. Just such a turbulent time, but it's good to reflect back. We are so grateful for all the work that man has done to get to where we are. Feel me? You know what people probably doing right now? They probably listening like, what in the world are they talking about? Listen, y'all, we might be right.
We might be wrong.
But at the end of the day,
we just young, black, and figuring it out.